this whole thing is pretty much done. We're more ghosts than people.
This weekend officially marks the 3-year anniversary of Red Dead Online when it launched November 27th, 2018. Yes, I realize its name was Red Dead Online Beta back in the day, but to be honest, with the issues that were in the game since the beta that still remain, I really don't consider the term beta as an excuse these days for online games. So even though it was called Red Dead Online Beta, I consider November 27th, 2018 the launch day of Red Dead Online. And now we're going to look back at the last 3 years and the current state of Red Dead Online. And we're also going to compare it to where GTA Online was around its 3-year anniversary. To be honest, I really wish this 3 years later video for Red Dead Online was a lot more optimistic, just like my 1 year later video for Red Dead Online was 2 years ago. But the difference is 2019 was probably the best year for Red Dead Online, and 2021 has so far been the worst. So it's hard to be optimistic about the future of Red Dead Online 3 years in with hardly much to show for it. But anyways, I want to know your thoughts, your views, your opinions regarding the 3-year anniversary of Red Dead Online. Do you think that the game is currently in a good state, in a bad state, a dire state? And do you think that we'll see a future for Red Dead Online going into 2022? Feel free and leave your thoughts, views, and opinions regarding the 3-year anniversary of Red Dead Online below in the comments section. So as I mentioned already, I consider the official launch of Red Dead Online November 27th, 2018, even though it was called Red Dead Online Beta. The whole term beta really doesn't mean much these days in the gaming industry, and I think the same can be said for Red Dead Online. It launched as a quote-unquote beta, and then not too long after the beta period, they added the gold bar store to the beta, by the way. 2018 was really bare bones for Red Dead Online. Some Land of Opportunity missions, stable stalls, 10 stable stalls max, which is what we still have to this day. They haven't given us any more stable stalls. They eventually added more weapons and more horses and other content to Red Dead Online, but at the beginning there really wasn't as much, but there was plenty of bugs, glitches, and issues. 2019 is when things look like it was turning around for Red Dead Online. The first official update, it wasn't a very big update, but it was the first update to Red Dead Online, was the Gun Rush update, which added Gun Rush mode and some fixes and a few other things. Then there was actually the beta update, which I think happened in February of 2019. It was still called beta update. Then we had the Red Dead Online update. That's what it was called. And that's when Rockstar was like, it's officially out of beta, even though I don't see it that way. But a few things were added courtesy of the Red Dead Online update, including new story missions for Land of Opportunities, new free roam missions, as well as poker. And somewhere along the way, we also got the daily challenges. So the Red Dead Online update was the first kind of big update. I would say just a medium-sized update at best, probably. But we did finally get poker. By the way, poker would be the last mini-game that we would get from Red Dead Redemption 2. We never got dominoes. We never got blackjack. And to this date, we've never gotten five-finger fillet. Now, the big update, the best update to Red Dead Online also happened in 2019. In September 2019, if I remember correctly, the Frontier Pursuits update. Now, this made a lot of us believe that Red Dead Online was starting to head in the right direction because it added a lot of content, including the first 3 roles to Red Dead Online. The Collector role, Bounty Hunter role, as well as Trader role, and more, including the Outlaw Passes. At first, the Outlaw Passes were pretty good. Then they started to go downhill around Outlaw Pass 4 and 5. Then in December 2019, this was probably the last decent update that we got. Probably second place to the Frontier Pursuits update, but it also had its own problems at launch. The Moonshiners update, that was around December 2019, around the same time as the Casino Heist update for GTA Online. They practically came out a day prior to each other. Like one came out one day, then the very next day the other one came out. It was an okay update. It did introduce a new role, the Moonshiner role, which is, I guess you could say, a successor to the Trader role. And then the long wait in 2020 because of a certain bug that became a pandemic across the world. Most of you know what I'm referring to. It took us a quick minute before we finally got to the summer of 2020 before we got the next update to Red Dead Online. But then in the summer of 2020, we got our fifth and final role so far, the Naturalist role with Harriet as well as Gus. We had some legendary animals that were added to the game and more Outlaw Passes as well as Halloween Pass 1, which would eventually unlock around October 2020. And there was also another infamous update that I will officially consider an update to Red Dead Online. It was a patch. We had a few patches here and there over the years, but this one was patch 1.21, which all but destroyed Red Dead Online. For about a week, it completely wrecked the game, leaving Rockstar scrambling behind the scenes to undo the damage that was caused with patch 1.21. I know I don't include it on the list, but I think it's worth mentioning. And then in December 2020, we got the Bounty Hunters expansion, or the Bounty Hunters update, whatever you wish to call it. It added 10 new ranks to the Bounty Hunter role, and it added some more legendary bounties and a few other things as well. And it was a disappointment, to say the least. A lot of people were not very impressed with the Bounty Hunters expansion update. And this is when things started looking concerning for Red Dead Online. A lot of us were hoping we'd have a decent update in December, even though December 2020 for GTA Online brought out the Cayo Perico heist update for that game. And this was during the time, of course, of the bug, and a lot of employees at Rockstar were having to work from home, so there were limitations to the content that could be made for Red Dead Online, but that didn't seem to stop Rockstar from coming out with a pretty decent heist update for GTA Online. Then there was another long wait going into 2021, and I believe another Outlaw Pass in the spring of 2021 came out. I think that was Outlaw Pass 5, or as my friend UG Outlaw calls it, Outlaw Ass 5, which was one of the worst Outlaw Passes we got. Then finally, in the summer of 2021, we got another mediocre update. This is the last update we've gotten to this point. This came out in the summer, the Blood Money update. Instead of Outlaw Passes, they basically took the Outlaw Pass and chopped it up into 4 mini passes, the Quick Draw Clubs. Then it also introduced Halloween Pass 2, which obviously came out around Halloween 2021. And also Capitale was introduced in the Blood Money update. But there was, I guess you could say, a diamond in the rough when it came to the Blood Money update. We eventually got new survivals in Red Dead Online, Call to Arms, which is one of the best modes that they've added to Red Dead Online. So I personally enjoy Call to Arms, and I'm sure some of you do as well. So that's one of the few positives when it comes to 2021 in Red Dead Online. So obviously, not that much content has been added to Red Dead Online in the past 3 years. No new stable stall expansions. We've had 10 since the beginning, since the launch of Red Dead Online, and we still only have 10 stable stalls with no means of being reimbursed or compensated for horses that we have to discard in order to make room for more horses. And we don't even have properties. We don't have a Rockstar editor. We don't even have a Rockstar creator to make our own jobs in Red Dead Online. And at the moment, we actually have no idea if there is going to be an update to Red Dead Online in December. I hope there's going to be. There's a bit of a tease, if you call it that, in the Rockstar Newswire from this past Tuesday. By the way, the event weeks are no longer event weeks. They're 2-week events now. So it used to be weekly events that Rockstar would do in Red Dead Online, just like they do in GTA Online. But over the past month in November, it's been reduced now to 2-week events, where each event goes on for 2 weeks instead of 1 week. That in itself is concerning to me because it seems like Rockstar is starting to put less and less effort into Red Dead Online, even when it comes to the events. Now to get back on topic regarding this past Tuesday's event, Dirty Tyler, Professional, a few other fellow Red Dead Online content creators have discussed this, and I'm going to talk about it as well right now. It implies that we have more blood money opportunities coming in December. But I sincerely hope that whatever the December update is for Red Dead Online, it's more than just Blood Money 2, Capitale Boogaloo, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now that we have an idea about the updates that have come to Red Dead Online over the past 3 years, let's compare it side by side to 3 years worth of updates for GTA Online, which launched October 1st, 2013. Not long after the launch of GTA Online was the first official update, the Beach Bum update. It was a pretty small update. It added a little bit of content to the game. Then around December was the holiday gifts, the Christmas update, whatever you wish to call it. It eventually would be known as Festive Surprise. Then in 2014, they started adding a whole bunch of small updates, which added content to GTA Online, such as clothing, cars, weapons. I think they also eventually made it to where you could own a second property. And somewhere along the way, we got the Rockstar editor as well as the Rockstar creator. I think that was when GTA Online became available along with GTA 5 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One around November 2014. So here are some of the content that came in 2014 to GTA Online. Valentine's Day Massacre Special, the Business Update, High Life Update, which was the first update I officially covered because my channel launched around March 2014. And then I'm Not a Hipster update, Independence Day Special, the San Andreas Flight School, LTS update, which was a smaller update, but it was focused obviously on adding the LTS mode to GTA Online. And then around December was the Festive Surprise, which was a continuation of holiday gifts from a year prior. They just kept adding more and more holiday-themed content to GTA Online with each passing year. Now, 2015 was a really big turning point for GTA Online. Bear in mind, GTA Online was still less than 2 years old when the Heist update came out on March 10th, 2015. And this was an update that a lot of GTA fans were very much looking forward to in GTA Online, even though it had been delayed a few times. It finally came out on March 10th, 2015 for all platforms, including PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. But the Heist update was very well received, and it was one of the biggest updates that had come out at that point. And then it was followed in the summer of 2015 by the final two updates for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1 and 2. It was the farewell to the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, which, by the way, the live service for both of those modes officially ends in December. A few more updates did come out for GTA Online in 2015. It was a smaller update, the Free Mode Events update. Then we got the Lowriders update with Lamar, which also included the Halloween surprise. It was locked under the Lowriders update, and eventually it was unlocked around Halloween 2015. Then in December, we got another big update to GTA Online, Executives and Other Criminals, which also included Festive Surprise 2015. And then 2016, we got a smaller update in January called the Drop Zone update, or the January 2016 update. It added 2 cars as well as a new adversary mode. Drop Zone was new at the time. Then we got another Valentine's update, Be My Valentine, followed by Lowriders Custom Classics. And then finally there was a bigger update, well, a couple bigger updates that came out in 2016, Finance and Felony. And the last update we're going to talk about in 2016 is the Bikers update, which is a pretty big update as well. It added some businesses and some biker-themed content to GTA Online, and it came out around October 4th, 2016. And the reason why we're going to stop here at the Bikers update is because this marks the official 3-year anniversary of GTA Online. Obviously, more content continued to come out with GTA Online from December 2016 all the way up to present day and going into 2022. So now if we look at the side-by-side comparisons between GTA Online, Red Dead Online, both around the same age since launch at their official 3-year mark, you see that one side has a bit more updates and content than the other side. Around the 3-year anniversary of GTA Online, it had over 20 updates, whereas Red Dead Online, now that it has reached 3 years old, has had less than 10 updates. Another trend you may have noticed is the fact that the GTA Online updates continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Meanwhile, the Red Dead Online updates are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Are there people that still enjoy playing Red Dead Online? Absolutely. Are the new players coming in every single day ever since Red Dead Online became standalone? I think it was a year ago when that happened, and for a limited time until February 2021, I think it was $5 for people to purchase the standalone version of Red Dead Online. Of course, you download the entire game of Red Dead Redemption 2, which was locked, and if you pay a little extra, you could unlock Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. But for $5 from, I think it was the fall of 2020 all the way to February 2021, it was $5, which was a pretty good deal. So you probably saw an influx of new players coming into Red Dead Online around that time period, but then the price went up to $20. And that probably led to a decline of new players in Red Dead Online. But it's an online game, and I'm sure there's new players coming in every single day, and that's awesome. But at the same time, a lot of veteran players have left the game because they've been there, done that. They've earned plenty of cash and plenty of gold. They have maxed out all the roles: the trader, collector, bounty hunter, moonshiner, naturalist. They've done all the legendary bounties. They've gone after all the legendary animals. They've done all the Land of Opportunity missions, as well as all the blood money contract and opportunities, putting up with Crips, Marcel, and being sprayed by Harriet all the damn time. Now, we could easily lay the blame on the current state of Red Dead Online on the bug, which was an issue in 2020. However, there's a lot of online games out there that continue to get content added to them. Fortnite, Fall Guys, Rocket League, even COD, even though COD's in a terrible state right now, they're still getting content for their games. Well, they were getting content for Cold War, and I'm sure they're going to start getting more content for Vanguard. And obviously, GTA Online is going to get a new business added sometime in December, according to information that Rockstar released a few months ago. Not to mention the fact that GTA 5 is coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Yes, I realize it's already forwards compatible and you can play it on there anyways, but they have a enhanced, expanded, milked edition that's coming in March 2022, which will also include a standalone version of GTA Online for PlayStation 5 as well as Xbox Series X and S. Obviously, GTA Online has a future going into 2022 and beyond, even though it's over 8 years old. However, Red Dead Online, which has only reached its 3-year anniversary, is in dire straits. Can it still be turned around? Of course it can, because over the past 3 years, there has been a growing number of Red Dead Online fans and players out there that absolutely love this game, including myself, who's seen potential in Red Dead Online since it launched back in November 27th, 2018. It's had good days, it has had bad days, it has some issues that have been in the game since launch, but I have enjoyed playing Red Dead Online since it came out in November 2018. I just wish it was in a better state right now than it currently is. 2 years ago, I felt a lot more optimistic about the future of Red Dead Online in my 1 year later video, and I wish I felt the same way right now, but unfortunately, I don't. But at the end of the day, the future and the fate of Red Dead Online lies on Rockstar's shoulders, and it seems like they have gone out of their way to neglect Red Dead Online every chance they get. But 2021 isn't over yet. We still have 1 month left, and that's when we usually get updates to GTA Online and Red Dead Online. And I think that the update to Red Dead Online will give us fans an idea as to whether or not there actually is a future for this game mode. If Rockstar comes out with a big, impressive update to Red Dead Online, somewhere up there to the level of Moonshiners, perhaps even as good or as big as Frontier Pursuits, then that will show a lot of us that Rockstar has not completely abandoned Red Dead Online and intends on continuing to update the game going into 2022 and hopefully beyond. However, if it's nothing more than Blood Money 2 or simply another expansion update, just like we got last year, instead of bounty hunting expansion, we get a collector expansion, or a moonshine expansion, or a trader expansion, a naturalist expansion. If that's it, then it really feels like the writing is on the wall when it comes to the future of Red Dead Online. And don't be surprised once people are done with whatever update we get in December. If it's a small update, Most people will do it, whether it's one of the expansions or new blood money contracts and opportunities. Oh boy. And once they're done, there's a very real possibility that might be it. Via con Dios, they may just hop on their horse and ride off into the sunset and maybe come back to Red Dead Online sometime in 2022 if there is ever a future update added to the game. But regardless of what happens to Red Dead Online, I believe that as long as the game continues to be live on servers, on Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Xbox Series X and S and PC, I think that as long as there's people playing it, Red Dead Online will continue to survive until Rockstar finally shuts it down in the near future, similar to what's about to happen to the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 versions of GTA Online. However, there is PC, there is Red Dead Redemption multiplayer out there, but the sad reality is a lot of Red Dead fans do not have a decent enough PC to run Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead multiplayer on, and they're at the mercy of whatever content Rockstar decides to work on and put out in updates for Red Dead Online. The same thing goes for GTA Online. Another reason why the GTA 5M servers on PC are becoming even more popular. And for players lucky enough to have a decent PC, I'm sure the same thing is happening when it comes to the size of Red Dead multiplayer continuing to grow over there. T-Mad TV and a few other friends that play Red Dead multiplayer seem to enjoy it, so worst comes to worst, maybe I'll give that a try going into 2022. I sincerely hope that the final nail in the coffin of Red Dead Online isn't about to be struck in December, but that depends on Rockstar. As the old saying goes, action speaks louder than words, and the action here is what we get out of the next update for Red Dead Online. If it's a good update, then that'll give us some hope and restore our faith in Rockstar when it comes to the future of Red Dead Online. However, as I've already mentioned, if it's a smaller update, similar to what we've been getting over the past year, another blood money, another expansion, then I think that hope, unfortunately, is going to continue fleeting when it comes to the Red Dead Online community. In an ideal world, this isn't the 3-year anniversary video I wanted to make, but this is the way the world is when it comes to the current state of Red Dead Online. If I end up doing a year 4 video, a year from now, obviously, for Red Dead Online, it'll only be because the game had hopefully turned around within a year's time. Whether or not that happens is entirely up to Rockstar Games. Your thoughts, your views, your opinions, and how do you honestly feel about the current state and fate and future of Red Dead Online on its 3-year anniversary? Feel free and let us know below in the comments section.
You have got to keep faith.